Hi, I'm Trip Babbitt, and many of you may know me from the Deming Institute podcast. And I've done a series before on Dr. Deming's 14 points for the Deming Institute. But I wanted to complete a playlist for my YouTube channel to go through Dr. Deming's 14 points because it really plays in the methods that I've put together that I call the 95 method. And so, as an introduction for me, when I first learned about the 14 points, I went as an invitation from Allison Transmission in Indianapolis. I worked for an industrial distributor and was invited to one of Dr. Deming's 4-day seminar. Now, I'd heard of Dr. Deming prior to the seminar, but what I'd face over those next 4 days was pretty incredible from my standpoint. Really affected me. He was teaching during the course of that 4-day seminar something completely opposite of what I had learned in my MBA program. It flew in the face of every professor that I had at the time. And so Dr. Deming, during the course of these 4-day seminar, presented his 14 points for management. So I'm going to put up a list right now and kind of walk through them, and then post the video. What I'm going to do is put a playlist together of each of Dr. Deming's 14 points with kind of my interpretation, application of these 14 points, the things that I've learned over 25 years of using Dr. Deming's philosophy. So let me just go ahead and begin with that, and I'll just walk through the 14 points one at a time, and we'll then come back together and I'll tell you about each of the a little more about each of the individual videos. Okay, so Dr. Deming's 14 points. The first is, and I paraphrased on the list that's in front of you, is create constancy of purpose toward improvement of product and service with the aim to become competitive and to stay in business and to provide jobs. Point number 2, adopt a new philosophy. We're in a new economic age. Western management must awaken to the challenge, must learn their responsibilities, and take on leadership for change. Point 3, cease dependence on inspection to achieve quality. Eliminate the need for inspection on a mass basis by building quality into the product in the first place. Point 4, in the practice of awarding business on the basis of price tag. Instead, minimize total cost, move toward a single supplier for any one item on a long-term relationship of loyalty and trust. 5, improve constantly and forever the system of production and service to improve quality and productivity and thus constantly decrease costs. Point 6, institute training on the job. Point 7, institute leadership. The aim of supervision should be to help people and machines and gadgets do a better job. Supervision of management is in need of overhaul, as well as supervision of production workers. Point 8, drive out fear so that everyone may work effectively for the company. Point 9, break down barriers between departments. People in research, design, sales, and production must work as a team to foresee problems of production and in use that may be encountered with the product or service. Point 10, eliminate slogans, exhortations, and targets for the workforce, asking for zero defects and new levels of productivity. Such exhortations only create adversarial relationships, as the bulk of the causes of low quality and low productivity belong to the system, and thus lie beyond the power of the workforce. Point 11, and there's a A and B part to this. So 11A, eliminate work standards, quotas on the factory floor. Substitute leadership. 11B, eliminate management by objective. Eliminate management by numbers, numerical goals, substitute leadership. Point 12, again an A and a B. 12A, remove barriers that rob the hourly worker of his right to pride of workmanship. Responsibility supervisors must be changed from sheer numbers to quality. 12B, remove barriers that rob people in management and in engineering of their right to pride of workmanship. This means inter alia, abolishment of the annual or merit rating and of management by adjective. Point 13, institute a vigorous program of education and self-improvement. And 14, put everybody in the company to work to accomplish the transformation. The transformation is everybody's job. And so those were Dr. Deming's original 14 points. He would later write these into 4 components of what he called his system of profound knowledge in the last book he wrote before he passed. And I'll most likely do, or I will do, a video on system of profound knowledge. But the 14 points are contained within that system of profound knowledge. But more people, for whatever reason, are familiar, well, probably the reason being from his 4-day seminars where he passed out his book, Out of the Crisis. People are familiar with the 14 points from Out of the Crisis. So more people are going to be familiar with those 14 points than they are his system of profound knowledge. But I'll go through each point in individual videos. I'll try to keep them somewhere in the 5 to 7 minute range for each point. And I'll put them in a playlist. And I'll just be sharing my thoughts on implementing the Deming philosophy as I've done it over the years. And I think this might benefit you in the approach, because his approach is very different than even today. MBA programs and business schools are teaching really, I'll say, even older philosophy, which I'll say for a video later also. So if you enjoy these types of things, please subscribe to this channel, and you'll see these videos coming out really in pretty short order, because I've done this before, just not with kind of my own perspective in applying Dr. Deming's philosophy over the years.